Thanks. Yeah, well, it's just because right now in the world, everything seems so heavy for people. There's just so much that so much loss people have experienced, and then just with the war in Ukraine and the wars all around the world, and it's easy to get bogged down in despair, and then I always think about how the plants have just survived and lived through so much. I was talking to you about this earlier, but just like volcanic eruptions, et cetera. And we have this, and tectonic plates and ice ages, and yet they just continue to thrive, and not only thrive for themselves, but also give out. And so we have this incredible resource available to us, that helps lift our spirits up and makes us feel more centered and more calm. Just like we were talking about in the beginning, a lot of times when there's a lot of anxiety or stress, or we're really, really busy, people's tendency is to speed up and to take a lot of stimulants. Sometimes those are necessary, but really more often what's necessary is to come into center and to feel grounded, to put our roots down. And so this class is really about that. It's about building our nervous system by embracing plants that actually help us feel centered and calm, and just ways of self-nourishing. We'll talk about the ritual act of bathing and making anointing oils and herbal formulas that we can use that are actually really helpful for calming us and also lifting us, and helping to remind us really how much joy there is around us. In spite of everything, we have a lot in the world we have no control of, but we do have control of the things that we do. And those things we can easily shift and change. So that's what we're going to be just talking about. It's creating more joy in the midst of a chaotic world. Quite frankly, the world is always chaotic. There's times when it's more intense and times that it's less. And we just happen to be alive now, so it feels really intense for us. But when I look back in history, there's not a whole lot of times that realistically, I wouldn't want to be alive during World War II, or when all the colonists were coming in and suppressing all the native people and cutting all the forests. I mean, I really, as you look back, or in Europe when the Vikings were coming down, and people just have to get it together, and I think we are, as crazy as it seems, I think we are at a turning point, and I still have hope in people. And I think the earth is fighting back really royally. I mean, that's what we're seeing. She's striking back. If you're going to mess with the mother, you better wear protection. And she's coming at us, and people are beginning to pay attention. So I think it's hopeful. And I think I just choose to remain hopeful because it's so depressing not to be. I can be a lot more active if I'm hopeful.